Firstly, I'd like to thank USM for the opportunity of inviting me to be with you so that I feel young again. I want to thank Professor Saw for the opportunity, and also want to thank Associate Professor Dr. Mustafa for giving me the opportunity to be here. I want to say again a happy morning to all the organizer and the USM staff and the fellow student. You're going to put the slide on for me? Can someone turn on my slides? Now, first of all, I want to say that we are all adults, and you are all in your master or your PhD program, right? So I am not talking to someone who is looking for a job to be a technician, an operator, or a clerical work. So I'm going to talk to you. How do I say? I will give you the hard thing about life, about when you come to work and what the society or the company expect of you. All right, so that's what I'd like to share with you. The topic area I gave in was the expectation of the employers on new employees. Right? Can we move on to the? Do you have a? Can I control? All right. But I want to think. What, half of you are already working? Can I have a show of hands? How many of you are actually working? You're working. I'm also working. Yeah. But I have reached a time in my life that I work only 3 days a week. Okay. Now it's my time to contribute back to the society, so to say. I'm actually semi-retired. I go to office only on Tuesday to Thursday. Right, so that's the privilege I have now. And I go to office at 10 and I leave before 4. So that's the privilege. So, and all of you have to aspire to reach that stage in life, right? Right? And hopefully much younger than me. I retired at 53, right? And guys should look at whether you can retire at 45. My son hoped to retire at 40. But yeah, make your life, you know, and then enjoy your life. And then enjoy your life, right? But then to reach that, you have to work for it, no? It doesn't fall from the sky, right? Can I have the next slide, please? The first thing I want to remind, like I said just now, I'm talking to future managers and leaders, okay? So these slides are for future leaders and managers, right? So if you think that I'm being too harsh, I'm sorry. Next, please. You see, in an interview, I'm talking about interview, your first 30 seconds, when the interview look at you, will decide whether they will continue or they will spend the next 5 minutes talking story with you. All right? And it is your attire, your hairstyle, your mannerism. Now, the important thing is that companies accept that you have your human right. If you like, you know, if you're a guy and you like to have long hair, nobody say no. But the point is that company have their own right, right? Company have the right to show their own image. You are going to be a manager. You are going to be a leader of the company. You project the image of the company, right? So if you come in your interview and only project your own image that the company feels that is not so good for them, I'm sorry. That's it. And that's a fact of life. That's a fact of life, right? Everybody wants to project a certain image. So the company also likes to project a certain image from all their employees. So if you want to be an employee of this company, you must be ready to project that image. If you are not ready, and then we are not going to live happily after, right? Next, please. In our Malaysian society, I interview, for the last 30 years, I interview engineers and managers and so on. The important thing is actually the ability to present your thoughts. We like to ask nasty questions so that you are, you're surprised by the question. Whatever you answer is not that important. The important thing is that can you put your thoughts together? Can you present it in a manner that sounds acceptable? So your presentation skill, it is not just your English or your Bahasa Malaysia, but are you able to present your thoughts in an orderly manner? Or just mumbling away. Sometimes, we are not so confident. Like Professor Mustafa said, you guys, if you don't want to stand up here to learn how to talk, when you go to the factory, you go to the office, you have to talk. That's the only way you can present yourself. If you don't want to talk and present your thinking, you will never be promoted. You will never be promoted. Let me remind you again. I don't promote people like that. We don't say that you have worked for me for 5 years or for 3 years, therefore you are entitled to promotion. In the reality world, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen that way. If you don't contribute, you stay there. I have kicked many people out. I have gone to the labor court for many times. Okay? And I have put many people to sit at the corner. If you are younger, I do it harder. Because you have time to learn, right? You are ready to take failure. But if you reach 40, I pity a little bit more. We are humans, are they? But you are 25, you are 26, you are less than 30, right? I'm a hard manager. I'm a hard boss. So that you learn. It's for your benefit. It's for your benefit, right? So spoken and written English, let me put it away. We don't need you to write essays. The British, right? I hate to read their emails. They give me 3 pages and all in paragraphs. I have to find which sentence is the most important sentence for me to understand. We don't need that. You see, we Malaysians, we deal with multinational companies. You have to deal with the French, the Taiwanese, the Japanese, and so on. So, when you write English, you have to write English that they can understand. You cannot write English that other people cannot understand, right? And if you write in essay form, can you imagine a Japanese guy trying to read 3 paragraphs to find which sentence is the important one, and they already have a language barrier, right? The point is, are we able to put it well, simple, step by step? When I write to my Japanese partners, my sentences are not more than 15 words. And it's always 1, 2, 3, 4. And if necessary, I even, because we are in the computer world, I highlight in yellow the most important. It is not, whether your tenses are right or your tenses are wrong, but are you able to present your thoughts, your requirements? Okay? So don't be handicapped to say that my English is not so good. Therefore, you move back. You will be to your disadvantage. Right? So the point is, are we able to present our thoughts when it comes to language studying? Can I have the next page? These are things that you can find everywhere, right? Good leader and so on. So I'm not going to talk so much about it. You are going to see all this. Not so interesting. Right, next page. And then there's a difference between managers and leaders. Well, for you guys, the first thing is learn to be a manager. Manager means you manage people, you manage things. And the next step is that from manager, you're supposed to grow up to be leaders. And leaders is that you learn to delegate things and control. There's 2 different steps. A manager and a leader. You cannot be a good leader unless you learn how to manage. Because you're expecting the guys below you now to know how to manage. right? So there's a difference between managers and leaders, right? You can read, so I'm not going to go on. Next. The first thing that I want us to remember again, in this world, there's no free lunch. I think all of us know this statement. There's no free lunch. Can I have a cup of water? You don't mind? See, if you want a salary of 3,000, then you go out to work. I mean, for those who are undergrad, when you're a postgrad, I'm not so sure when you go out. Thank you. Sorry, I had a bad throat because I spent a week in Korea. I come back, it's too dry. You see, if you want a salary of 3,000 or even 5,000, that's not a problem. The industry will pay. The issue is, how much can you give back? If you want 3,000 and you can help the company to make 10,000, willingly, we give. I once have an accountant who come to me when I go to a new company. I'm sorry about that. He say that we are the time that we have to learn to save. Careful. We have to learn to save. You know, an accountant, accountant, they are very petty about money. You know, this accountant learned by, in the soap in the toilet. He cut in instead of one piece of Lux soap, he will cut into two and put the small piece there. I said that's not my philosophy of running a company. I say I will make 10 ringgit and spend 2 ringgit. I'll make sure people spend the money and I'll make more. And so it is we expect of employees. If you want 3,000, if you can help me to make 10,000, I'll pay you 3,000. I don't mind even pay you 5,000, but make sure you help me to make the 10,000. So there's no free lunch. If you want a salary of 10,000, make sure you can help the company to make 100,000. That's a fact of life. That's a fact of life. So if you think that salary in Malaysia is low, I don't think so. It's how much you can contribute. It's how much you can contribute. My son is 26, my other son, right? He's making 15,000 a year a month. So it's possible. But how much are you contributing back to the company? You understand? There's no free lunch. Okay? There's no free lunch. Next. You see, the other thing that we are very important is that if you work in a factory environment, which I had been for the last 30 years, sometimes we work late, or sometimes we go out with some customers and so on. We probably go home by 12, by 1 or whatever. But my boss have taught me hard. It doesn't matter what time you finish your work, tomorrow is 8 o'clock. Okay? Tomorrow is 8 o'clock. That is the discipline that company is looking at. In the factory environment. Okay? You can work until 11 because you finish your project work. Tomorrow is 8 o'clock. Your work is 8 o'clock. Even if you last you for a week. When I first came out as an engineer, I was a design engineer, I was a software engineer, all in one, because I work in a small company. I worked until 11 p.m. every day for 1 year, except Sunday. Tomorrow, I go to work at 8 o'clock. Of course, they promote me very fast. But that is a fact of life, right? What do you want? I tell my lady managers, tell me what you want. Okay? Tell me what you want. If you say that I will prefer a job that is 9 to 5, I give you a job that is 9 to 5. But when you see your colleagues be promoted and be paid much higher than you don't cry. You understand? Big companies, we are able to adjust. No problem. Tell me you want a 9 to 5. We give you a job that's 9 to 5. But your salary will be a 9 to 5 salary with the responsibilities that you are taking and the results that you are contributing. That's all. Okay? So when the juniors when you see your what do you call your peers being promoted and being paid much more, you don't come crying to me. You know, you are paid for what you contribute. That's all. Right? And find a company that can help you so that, you know, I like people. I actually appreciate ladies, I'm talking to ladies, that you actually want to spend time with your family. I believe in family values. I believe in family values, right? But then we have to face the fact, you know, we cannot have the best of everything. That's all. I'll be very clear on this, right? I mean, nowadays there are actually creative jobs and you have flexi hours and so on, right? Now the point about this is that you have to hand up your project on the deadline. You don't go to your boss 2 days before the deadline and say, I'm sorry, my son is in the hospital, my daughter, I'm preparing for my daughter's wedding and so on. You talk about that a month earlier when you are given the project. You don't talk about that to your boss 2 days or 1 day before the deadline. That's an excuse, right? If you talk about that at the beginning of the project, it's not an excuse. The company can manage. The company can manage. We will survive. But you come and talk to it, the deadline is 5 o'clock, and 1 a.m. you walk quietly to your boss and talk about that, I'm not going to listen. Okay? And I always tell my staff, if today is the 22nd don't end at 5 o'clock, 22nd of September ends at 12 o'clock. As long as you give me the report, or by 11:59, I accept. If you give me 6 a.m. tomorrow, I don't. I have thrown reports into dustbin. Right? I have thrown reports into dustbin because I cannot understand the language. And it's overdue. Believe me, boss never die. If your report is not ready, he has another set of report ready. You think that his life is going to depend on you? No way. Let me tell you again, I've thrown many reports into the dustbin in front of the person who gave it to me. That is a hard part about life. Okay? Deadline is important. I blanked it because I'm talking about leadership qualities and so on. I only want you to learn 3 words here. Can I say? Leadership, all what I'm talking about is you can learn it. You're not born with it, no. Some people say that, no. I come from a very poor family. I don't speak English actually at home. Until standard 6, when we're in primary school, we still speak dialects in school. And my English teacher, we call her Tigress, right? Tigress. She make us pay 10 cents. Well, 10 cents was a big thing during my time for speaking. If she hears any word of dialects, every student, you have to pay 10 cents to the monitor. And he make us pick 5 words from the newspaper every day to learn English. Right? Now, believe me, when I write my letter, during my time when we are still courting my girlfriend, or now my present wife, right? We still write letters. We don't have computers yet, right? My wife is an English teacher. Can you imagine? She showed me the letter I wrote to her. You know how teachers do, right? They carry a red pen. You know? It's all red. That's all my grammar mistakes, spelling mistake, whatever you want. So that's my love letter. Can you imagine? That's how poor my English was. Right? So let me tell you, we learn. Okay? We learn. We do not let our family background, our community background or whatever background we have limit us from learning. Okay, limit us from learning. We learn, we practice, we improve. That's the 3 words I want you to learn if you want to work, you know. You learn, you practice, you improve. You learn, you practice, you improve. Whatever thing you want there, you learn, you practice, you improve. Don't worry, don't be embarrassed. I have embarrassed myself many times. Okay? But please embarrass yourself as young as possible. You see, when you embarrass yourself when you're 20 years old or 26 years old, not that bad, right? You probably go back and cry and say how stupid you are for that. Can you imagine I'm 50 over years old and I come here and I stand here and embarrass myself? I think I will cry for 1 week, right? You know what I mean? Learn your mistake when you are young. And the fall will not be so hard. The fall will not be so hard. Next, please. Now I picked something from Einstein just for closing. Okay? Einstein says that we all know Einstein. Do you know Einstein or not? Albert Einstein. The great physician, darling, right? He said that I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. You know? It's just that Einstein says that I stay at the project longer than many people. I'm so passionate about it. That's why I'm good at it. Einstein never considered he was a genius. We consider he's a genius, but he never considered himself a genius. That's what I want you to understand, right? A person who never make a mistake, never try anything new. Now I want to talk to you. You guys are coming out to the society. You guys have to work, right? If you do not fail, if you do not make mistakes, you will never grow. I always tell my engineers, when they're still engineers, right? If you make a mistake now, you cost me 10,000, 20,000. If you are my manager, you make a mistake, you cost me 100,000. When I make a mistake for the company, it costs the company at least 10 million. That's the fact of life. The higher you go, every mistake you go costs more money. But if you don't learn, you don't make your mistake when you are younger, every mistake you make now becomes even bigger. Okay? So make your mistake. Please make your mistake. Don't be shy to learn. Okay? Please make your mistake, I'm saying. Now the other word is a very common one. You say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You fail, right? And then the next time you try, you do exactly the same. Einstein said, that is insane. You must do something new. Okay? But don't be afraid to try again. Next. Right? Just an old man's advice. You guys learn to reflect more. Think more of what you want in life and so on, and what you have done. Huh? Then take more risks in life. We have to take risks in our life. If you want a comfort zone, you will never grow. Okay? You will never grow. You can never be a president or a GM or owner of a company if you don't know how to take risks. Hey, take risks, that's your company's money, not your money. Why you worry? True or not? Right? Take risks. Right? Then, when you live in your life, leave a legacy. So that when you bungkus, when people talk about you, there's something good to talk about. Alright? That's life. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ham, for your words of wisdom and encouragement. Our second speaker will be Mr. Mohammad Azlan Achil. Mr. Mohammad Azlan Achil is an alumnus of USM. He graduated in 1994 with a Bachelor of Social Science in Development Studies and Management. He later received an MBA specializing in strategic marketing from University of Hull, United Kingdom in 2001. Now please welcome Mr. Mohammad Azlan to give his speech.
I'm not short, but not enough height. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Dr. Mustafa, Dr. Lau, and our distinguished gentlemen and fellow audience. We use the clip pen. Okay, it's very interesting. Everything has been mentioned by Mr. Ham, so it seems like my presentation will be more easier because all the fundamentals, basics, requirements from the industry is there. It's been mentioned, it's very clear. But I would like to comment on risk just now. In banking, we are not risk avoidance. We are risk adverse. We're taking risks, everything we're taking risks, but we call it a calculated risk. We don't simply taking risk blindly, because that is very dangerous. Of course, what the expectations from private sectors to our graduates is basically quality. When we're talking about quality, it covers your academic excellence as well as your co-curriculums. Because maybe you ever heard that the good grade doesn't guarantee you can get the jobs. But for the industry itself, basically that is one way for us to select the talents. Of course, now we have postgraduates here, but mostly the recruitment is majority undergraduates. They said they don't have any experience. What is market expectation is you have an experience at least. Those who have, maybe they're doing part-time during the school days or universities, that will be a career advantage. But those who haven't any, experience, the co-curriculum is important as a proxy of how you deal with your environments, with the surroundings. So that one is, you cannot neglect. And then the practical industry training is another part that I believe some of these undergraduate will be go through. Please leverage on what you obtain, you gain from the trainings, because that is the one way for you to practice what you learn. Because in the real world out there is very fierce. Competitions is very stiff among the peers, among your colleagues, or even among the branches. As far as the bank is concerned, we compete every day. Like in, now in Malaysia, if you notice from how many banks we have, now it's only about less than 10 banks. So that is the competition is all about. Another quality that we are looking at is your personality. But since Mr. Ham already mentioned everything, I don't want to keep on repeating. But what is the most critical is your attitude towards your commitment. Because with due respect, some of these graduates, when we start to hire them during the interview, it's more convincing. They are very, impressive. But once we hire, doesn't mean that you are going to be permanent. They will go through a probation period, 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months. During this probation period, then the true color will be surfaced. Some are very passive, Some are very timid. They cannot cope with the environments of the organizations. They fail to embrace the culture. They fail to acknowledge our mission and vision statement of the company. That is not very good. So at the end, normally after 6 months, we have to manage them out. As far as the bank is concerned, or industrial, financial industry is concerned, we are making profit, what you call a profit-oriented business. There's no charity. So every cent, single cent is counted. Of course, like just now, the soap bar, you cut into some organizations, they adapt that way. But we don't call it cost cutting. We call it cost optimization. We spend 10 cents to get 1 ringgit in returns. So that's why organizations don't mind to spend more, provided the return is commensurate with whatever they're spending. So as a person, as an individual, as a talent, we have to embrace what is the direction of the company, of the organization, because that is the bread and butter of the companies. Another issue that for us to improve is we have to know ourselves. We have to do our, what you call, personal assessment, be honest. You have to identify what is your strength, SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weakness, and how you convert threats into the opportunities. Because in banking, we don't look problems as a problem. We look problems as an opportunity. That's where we try to outperform our competitors. Just want to share with you my earlier career in Maybank. I did face some sort the character of managers like Mr. Ham. Yes, but again, as what I said, we don't talk about personal. Nothing is personal in business. It's only a business. And during the office hours, the boss is very, I said, you know, Maybank is the tiger logo. So almost all the managers is just what they call, we embrace the tiger value. I say, you know, what is tiger means for Maybank? T is for teamwork. Teamwork. Even we compete each other from department to department, branches with branches, but we must have a teamwork. Teamwork to face our competitors. I means integrity. No matter how good you are, but without good integrity, you will be collapsed. You have lost your reputation, your dignity. For you yourself, okay, no problem. Maybe you can face it, but your family, your loved one. So that's why we are very emphasized on integrity. Dealing with customers, dealing with clients, dealing with the stakeholders. So that's the value that we have to embrace. Growth, T-I-G, growth, G for growth. Growth means we grow the business, we grow ourselves. Sky is limit. If you can perform, then you can go higher. As far as the industry is concerned, we are KPI driven. Target remains set. You work your targets. Because all the rewards will be based on your performance. If you underperform, so you are not performing, and then you have to seek for backdoor. Either you are going to be managed out after we do some all the necessary, what you call, remedy to these talents. If they still cannot cope up, then you have to get another opportunity out there. E stands for excellence. As I mentioned just now, everything you have to do, you must be in a very excellent way. We don't want to give what you call shoddy work, cincai. There's no place for that type of attitude. and R means for relationship. No matter how you with your peers, sometimes among peers also we are quite gaduh, but we have to maintain our relationship, professional relationship. That's why I said when Mr. Ham highlight all those things, I said it's make my presentation very, very easier. Another issue that we are looking at is talents. Normally we call it talents. Is the thinking process. We encourage innovation. We give a very ample space for talents to give innovation. Because, I've been graduated for 20 over years ago. Maybe this new graduate in what you call generation Gen Y, they have a very, very good ideas. So we cannot stop them to share with the ideas. Don't ever think that their idea are not relevant to the industry or to the job scope, but we try to encourage. Because without innovation, you will be stagnant, and if you are stagnant, your competitors will outperform you. So in our organization, we have to make sure that we keep on number one, because nobody will remember number two. They always remember number one. So in order for you to innovate, the graduate have to be keep on follow what is happening in the market, regardless of what industry you are. You have to keep abreast what is the latest development, whether it is in the financial industry, aviation, tourism, whatsoever. This is matters because if you have something which others don't have, you can conquer the competition. You're ahead of the rest. Another matter that we need to highlight here is the ability in problem solving. Me and my team, I always encourage them to diagnose whatever problem they have and come out with a solution. I don't like people come with me with the problem without any proper solution. That's been, I always said, if you come with the problem without your proposed solution, might as well your gaji you pass to me. Because that is part of the process. Because if you let them to be giving out problem, highlighted problem without any solution, that means they are incompetent. If you are incompetent in any industry, that means you will be left behind. So try to what you call learn, gain knowledge from your junior staff up to your management level, because if you can diagnose the problems from the junior staff to the management level, you are ready to take up the challenge. You are ready to lead the teams. You are ready to go as higher as GM's level in as far as the banking is concerned. Time management, also in banking, we call it TAT, turnaround time. Time is very essential in banking because every moment that you miss, that means you are losing. You may lose your customers, you may lose your deal. So everything has been imposed with the deadlines. You have to work out within the timeline that imposed to you. like Mr. Ham said, he don't mind to throw out the report, but it's a real world. It's a very real, it happens in the industry itself. So in summary, I would like to say that whatever you involve, or whatever you're going to undertake, you must ensure quality comes first. Without any quality, you won't get any good business. You cannot get good returns. Or even if you serve, you cannot you develop your talents in the industry or in the whatever business you undertake. So I think that's all from me. I'll be here. Maybe if you have anything you want to ask later on, please do not hesitate to communicate with us. Okay, I'd like to end my presentation this morning. Once again, thanks. Maybe we can look forward for our next meeting.
Advertisement, looking for your advertisement.
Oh, yeah, advertisement. Yeah, you're talking about advertisement. The preparation of resume is very important. We deviate sikit lah. Because sometimes, with due respect, some graduate, they prepare the resume not up to the standards. Normally, when we get all this application, we just flip through. We don't have time to read from first page to the last page. We just go through and see the presentation, what we want to see. Of course, there's a lot of if you Google format of resume, you try to pick up the most outstanding, most clarity. I mean, you try to, because this resume is a representative of yourself. Because if you write in the very fancy, even our selection committee they will put aside, because they try to reduce all the narration in the resume. Point form is better. You highlight the key points, your achievements, whether in the university or during your school times, or your working experience. The working experience, we just get at least 3 or 5 latest one if you have. You don't have to put all from the day one you start working as like myself. I start working as a cashier, then I go to hotel as a part-time waiter, and then sometimes I'm doing the part-time newspaper, selling newspaper. So just pick most crucial things, especially if your experience is related to the post you apply. Okay, that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammad Azlan Achil. Our third speaker will be Mr. Chii Shiang. Mr. Q received his early education at St. Paul Institution in Seremban and graduated with a Bachelor of Engineering from University Malaya in Kuala Lumpur. Upon graduation, he held several job positions from assistant engineer to assistant factory manager at various companies such as KLK, Pat Candy Sendirian Berhad, NSAFE, Gold Keys, Texum, Eshito, Perunde. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Q to give his speech. Please welcome.
Good morning, Associate Professor Dr. Mustafa, Associate Professor Dr. Song and my fellow speakers, Mr. Ham and Encik Azlan. Now, to do justice to the excellent presentation by Mr. Ham and Mr. Azlan, I think that you all should be asking questions shortly. So I'm sure that as you were hearing, you would have jotted down some questions. So feel free afterwards for the Q&A sessions to be able to just toss it out. But that necessarily means that I will need to make my presentation short because time is running on. And we do not want to delay you from your tea session, right? I think many of you were rushing here without your breakfast, huh? Okay, so how to keep my presentation short, that will be an art, which you all will learn, short and sweet. Now, for the economy to grow, necessarily we need to drive productivity and we need to add value. And to do that, I want to reiterate what Encik Azlan have mentioned on the word quality. What is the expectation of the private sector? Indeed, what is the expectation even of the public sector? That is quality. Now, my company, Farbentechnik, has a quality management system, QMS, ISO 2000. Now, when we talk about quality management system, it cannot run unless we have quality people. People with a quality consciousness. And therefore, in the quality acronym of my company is spelled QUALITY. Q, quest for excellence. U is unity and teamwork. A, attention and commitment to customer. L, learning for continual improvement. I, integrity in all personal and business dealings. T, timeliness as the essence of our quality response. And why? Why? Well, we always ask the question, why quality? Why? It's interesting that quality ends with the letter Y. So we ever ask us question, why is my company existing? Quality. Why is my company successful? Quality. And why is my company progressing well into the future? Quality again. So we cannot do without quality. Now, quality has to do with the attitude and the essence of what we call excellence. The pathway to growth is premised on our quest for excellence. The practice of excellence is not staying in the valley, but scaling the mountain. The spirit of excellence is not doing what is just needed, but doing more than what is expected. And the culture of excellence is not status quo, but constantly finding ways to do things better together. You know, this was exactly the same speech which I made to my staff in our first Monday company assembly, and where I just motivated to them on the quest of excellence. It's interesting that my company stand together every month for an assembly, and we make it a point to sing the national anthem, because even though we are in the private sector, we recognize the reason for us to exist is because of the environment that is provided by the government. Many of you will be joining the public sector. Go for excellence, because that is what is going to drive productivity, and that is what is going to add value, and overall, that is going to add economic growth to our beloved country of Malaysia. Now, the second letter on the quality word acronym is U, as unity for teamwork. Now, in my company, we have grown over 25 years. I'm the owner of the company, and therefore, when I look back over the 25 years, yes, I've driven productivity. Yes, I've added value to the extent that we have over 70 staff right now from 2 staff 25 years ago. So in this year's short speech, I say we have grown to a staff force of 64, 25 in production store, 18 in QC R&D, 14 in business marketing, 8 in admin finance. Now, I reminded my staff that in a dragon boat race, there is only one drum beat. And in Faben, that is my company, there will also be one drum beat. And therefore, let us roll together in unison to that one drum beat in unity and teamwork that we can achieve our goal. Now, our company is not run just on one person. It's run on a collective input of many persons. And unless that teamwork works, things are not going to progress. Going very quickly to the third acronym, and that is A, attention and commitment to customers. Now, in my company, there is a notice which has been put down there for years, and it says that the customers pay our salary. Remember that. Who Faben is and what Faben has become is because of our customers, I told my staff. And without our customers, Faben will die. As much as without air, none of us will live for long. As such, we need to pay attention to our customers, and we have to stay committed to our customers. And we stay committed to our customers by having 100% on-time delivery, by responding 100% of the time to their legitimate complaints, and by providing 100% of their requests for new colors, because my business is in providing colors. In fact, we are very essential to the latex industry of Malaysia, being a major supplier of the colorants. And Malaysia is a major supplier of latex gloves in the world, providing 65% of the total requirement or the total consumption of the world. Now, we have 230 customers on our active list, and every year we are adding 30 more new customers to this list. And I really appreciate our marketing department for driving this, for their devotion and dedication to our customers. And at the same time, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for all the other departments for giving their most able support. So we may all pay careful attention to our customers and stay committed to our customers. Remember, when you are either in the private sector or public sector, who your company is and what your company will become is because of your customers. Coming on quickly to the fourth letter, and that is learning for continual improvement. Now, learning is not just for children in school, because many of us pride ourselves and say that I've already grown. I've already come out into the working world. Learning stops. But this is a reminder that learning is not just for school students or university students, but for all. Now, learning about health and safety so we may live longer. Learning about your job so you can rise higher and stand taller. And learning about yourself so you may be a better person, a more wholesome person. Learning is not just for the person who reads, but for the person who do. And that is every one of us here, whether in the office, in the factory, in the lab, or in the marketplace. And when we learn, we improve, we progress. As long as we are learning, as long as we believe that there can be more, as long as we can build that culture of improvement through learning. Now, I have a reading circle in my company, and that I meet every Tuesday afternoon. We have lunch together and we read. And this comprises the executives in my company. I made it a point to attend this week after week over the past many years. I have dropped meeting with the head of department because another person can take over. I've dropped many other department meetings, but I never dropped this reading session with my staff, with my executive staff, because I know that in the midst of the busyness of work, we leave out one thing, and that is habit of reading. And that weekly reading session is a reminder that it is important for us to continue reading, to continue absorbing ideas and thoughts, to continue discussion on these ideas and thoughts, so that we may all learn together and progress together. I, for integrity in all business and personal dealings, I mentioned that a company, indeed the country, is built on the foundation of integrity. Without foundation, a building develops cracks and eventually collapses, as all civil engineers will know. Without integrity, the company collapses. Now, for each of our staff, for each of you here, or those of you who may be wearing belts, I think mostly the men, some ladies too, integrity is like a belt which holds your trousers up. And without integrity, when the trousers falls down, then your pants fall down, you are exposed and you are shamed. We do not want our company to collapse. Neither do we want any of our staff to be shamed. As such, 3 points I left with my staff, and 3 points which I hope that you will take into consideration. We will not be corrupt. We will not give bribes. Neither will we receive bribes. We will ensure that the company property and confidential information are protected. It will not be stolen. Neither will it be leaked. Number 3, we will not lie. A lie may take care of the present, but it has no future. Therefore, be truthful, be trustworthy. And this year, for my company, we have made it a year of integrity. 2016, to build trust and integrity initiative, together we build transparency. How much time do I have now? 9:54. Probably another 2 more minutes, huh? T stands for timeliness as the essence of our quality response. Be on time, every time. I am glad to note that every month for the past 12 months for my company, we have 100% on-time delivery. And that's how we are able to get the loyalty of our customers. And when you're on time, don't just be on time to the customers out there, be on time to each other, inter-department. Be on time in what you have promised that you want to do. It's only on that we can move forward. Well, we wish to do everything on time. You see, it is also more important to do everything in time. Figure that out, on time, in time. You see, the important needs our utmost attention, while the urgent needs our due attention. Think about that. When you go out, whether in the private and the public sector, you realize that there are so many things to do. You need to prioritize. You need to know what are the important things and what are the urgent things. And for my company in the past, now, and as always, timeliness is the essence of our quality response. Why? Why is yes to safety, health, and environment, for which none of us will be able to carry on working, for which no companies will be carry on if the environment collapses around us in time to come. So while we drive to add value, while we drive to increase productivity, we must be mindful of safety, health, and environment. I hope you'll be able to give some time for Q&A. Thank you very much.